Hi, today we're going to learn about segments and their measures. So, in your composition book, go ahead and title it Segments and Measures. So remember we learned that a segment was just a line that ended. So you put your little dots on the end, and that's a segment. We're going to talk about some postulates today, and there's a few things in geometry you need to know. So postulates and axioms are two things that are rules that are accepted without proof. So rules accepted without proof. There are also rules that have been proven, and those rules are called theorems. So a theorem is just a rule that has been proven. But today we are going to talk about predominantly postulates. So let's start with our first postulate that we're going to talk about. And that one's called the ruler postulate. So just like a ruler that you use to measure something. And I'm boxing it because I'm going to box all of the postulates. Basically, what it's saying is that the points on a line can be matched one-to-one with real numbers. So in your composition books, you want to put the points on a line can be matched with real numbers. And I'm going to give you a visual to show you what that means. And the real number that corresponds to a point is called the coordinate of that point. So let's say we have a line right here, and we're going to have 2 points on that line. We have point A and we have point B. And A and B are the names of those points, so we're going to say names. And B is the name for that point. And below it, I'm going to put x1 and x2. Because this is just on a number line, it's not on a coordinate grid, so you're not going to have your y values. So these are called coordinates. And we learned that a long time ago. When we're talking about distance, you want to write it like this. So the distance of this line, if we just wanted to write it, would look like this. You just say A, B. You don't put any symbols with it. And we know that means the distance of AB. And to find the distance between A and B, what you would do is, so I'm going to write AB, and I'm going to say that distance equals, it's going to be the absolute value of your second coordinate minus your first coordinate. So let's say this was 3 and x2 was 5. I would do 5 minus 3, and then I knew it was 2 units away. So you're just plugging the x2 and the x1 in to find out. But remember, it's absolute value, so you're not going to have a negative distance for that one. So that's the ruler postulate. We are going to talk a little bit about doing something if you have 3 lines, or I'm sorry, 3 dots. So I need to add a page here. Nope. I don't think I can see it on my screen, so I'm having difficulties. Darn it. We'll make it big screen and we'll go that way. Okay, so we'll go over to the next side, which I have a little more room. And we're going to talk about collinear points. And we learned about that. We learned about that in our last lesson. And collinear just means that it's points on the same line. But it has to be on the same line. And I'm going to show you the difference between that. So let's say you have 3 points on a line. So I'll give you an illustration of that. Oops. So remember, I told you in class, still learning this program, so bear with me. Okay, so we have 3 points on a line. So I have A, I have B, and I have C. So in this case, these are collinear points, and I could say that B is between A and C. If the points are not collinear, so let's say I have something like this, and I have A, and I have C here, but I have B out in a different plane. So I cannot say that B is between A and C here. So they must be collinear to do that. So not between for this one. And so that's basically talking about collinear points. And what we'll look at now is segment addition, postulate. And I'm going to box that again because it is a postulate. So make my big box. And basically all segment addition postulate is, I'm going to do the illustration first and then I'm going to put it in words. So I have a segment here. And let's say I have a point right here. So this is point A. This is point B, and this is point C. So if B is between A and C, so go ahead and write that. If B is between A and C, which means they're collinear, then this should apply, this rule that I'm going to put. Then the length of AB plus the length of BC should equal the length of AC. And that's all that postulate is. It's just saying if you add together the 2 segments, it should equal the entire segment. So that's all we have for today, segments and measures. So the thing that you need to know when you come in is the ruler postulate and segment addition postulate.